Combining the elegance of 1930s American design with contemporary performance, this stunning 1937 Ford Model 78 Deluxe Roadster offers the best of both worlds. Expertly transformed into a hot rod, it boasts classic lines complemented by carefully selected modern upgrades. Located in Shirley, New York, this custom roadster has been driven very lightly since receiving its current drivetrain and Downs Industries fiberglass body, making it practically fresh out of the build. This is more than just a vintage automobile brought back to life. It is a handcrafted statement of what happens when nostalgia and modern technology are blended seamlessly. It is the sort of car that turns heads on Main Street, wins admiring nods at weekend shows, and delivers the kind of driving experience that makes you understand why the hot rod culture has endured for generations. Finished in a timeless shade of silver, the sleek Downs Industries fiberglass body captures the flowing curves and intricate detailing that made the original 37 Ford a beloved icon. To truly appreciate the visual impact of this car, one has to imagine the late 1930s in America, when automobiles were shifting from utilitarian transportation into works of art. The late pre-war designs favored long fenders, sweeping curves, and details that balanced elegance with subtle aggression. This particular roadster holds on to that legacy while giving it a modern twist. Its beautifully contoured bodywork reflects light like a sculpture, every crease and curve enhanced by the rich metallic finish. The brightwork trim provides contrast that harks back to the factory originality, reminding viewers of the meticulous craftsmanship that Ford was known for in its heyday. Meanwhile, the custom dual exhaust tips peek out subtly, hinting that beneath the dignified exterior lies a machine with fire in its veins. The hot rod scene has always been about balance between respect for heritage and the pursuit of individuality. Too much customization, and the car risks losing its soul. Too little, and it feels like a museum piece rather than something alive and engaging. This 1937 Ford strikes that balance beautifully. It is a respectful homage to its origins while being unapologetically a modern hot rod, built to be driven, shown, and appreciated in equal measure. Inside, the black interior carries that same philosophy. The cabin is not merely a cockpit for transportation. It is a space that connects driver and machine. The upholstery is clean and purposeful, with a timeless quality that avoids gimmicks. The dash layout is practical, gauges crisp, and ergonomics updated so that piloting this roadster is as comfortable as it is stylish. The addition of power steering and power brakes demonstrates the builder's focus on usability. In the 1930s, driving a car like this would have required a firm grip and a strong leg. Today, those mechanical struggles are eliminated, leaving only the pure joy of cruising. That makes this Ford a car that can be equally enjoyed by seasoned enthusiasts or newcomers to the hot rod community. At the heart of every great hot rod is the engine, and this build does not disappoint. Powering this roadster is a potent Blueprint 350ci crate motor, a modern interpretation of Chevrolet's legendary small block V8. Rated at a confident 350 horsepower, it provides far more performance than the original flathead V8 that would have lived under the hood of a 1937 Ford. This is a car that combines the aesthetics of the Depression era with the muscle of modern American performance. The Edelbrock 650 carburetor feeds the hungry V8 with precision, ensuring reliable throttle response whether at idle or wide open. What truly sets this engine bay apart, however, is its presentation. The polished chrome components glisten under the hood, turning the act of opening it at a show into a centerpiece moment. Visitors will not just hear the burble of the exhaust. They will marvel at the visual artistry of a motor that looks as good as it runs. That power is channeled through a robust 700 R4 automatic transmission, a unit known for its balance of strength and smooth operation. This 4-speed overdrive transmission allows the Ford to cruise effortlessly at highway speeds, something its 1930s counterpart could never dream of. The pairing makes this hot rod as comfortable at 65 miles per hour on the interstate as it is idling down a boulevard on a warm summer evening. Backing it all up is a Ford 9-inch rear end with Posey traction, a choice beloved by builders for its durability and performance characteristics. With traction assured, the driver can enjoy spirited acceleration without worrying about spinning one wheel helplessly. Complementing the drivetrain are 4-wheel disc brakes, a far cry from the mechanical drum brakes of the original era. This upgrade provides confidence and safety, ensuring the car stops as impressively as it goes. The numbers tell another story. Just 1,500 miles have been logged since the completion of this build. That means the drivetrain is barely broken in, the body still fresh, the suspension tight, and the interior free from the wear that inevitably comes with time. For a prospective buyer, it represents the opportunity to own a hot rod that feels brand new yet carries with it the aura of history. It is a rare combination, something that is both a piece of rolling art and a machine built to last for many more years of enjoyment. But beyond the facts and figures lies the cultural resonance of a car like this. Hot rods are not simply modified cars. They are rolling expressions of freedom, individuality, and craftsmanship. The culture was born in the years after World War II, when young enthusiasts began stripping down older Fords, Chevrolets, and Dodges to extract speed and style on a budget. The 1937 Ford was a particularly popular starting point, with its elegant curves lending themselves to customization. In that sense, this Roadster stands not only as an individual build, but also as a continuation of a tradition that has shaped American car culture for decades. To stand in front of it is to connect with that tradition, to feel the echoes of dry lakes racing in California, of small-town garages where friends worked late into the night on their projects, of car shows where communities formed around shared passion. Every car tells a story, and the story of this 1937 Ford Model 78 Deluxe Roadster is one of transformation and preservation. Transformation, because it has been reimagined with modern parts, engineering, and artistry. Preservation, because it still honors the spirit of the original car and the era it represents. It is not a replica, nor is it a museum artifact. It is something in between, living at the intersection of past and present. This makes it a rare opportunity for collectors, enthusiasts, or anyone who believes cars should not just be looked at but experienced. Driving such a car is not about raw numbers or lap times. It is about sensations. The rumble of the V8 as it settles into a throaty idle, the effortless sweep of the steering wheel as you guide it through a turn, the confident bite of the brakes, the gleam of the silver paint as sunlight dances across it. All of these moments combine to make driving this hot rod a visceral experience. It is a reminder that while technology in the automotive world has advanced, the essence of motoring passion has not changed. Cars are about connection, freedom, and joy, and this Ford embodies all three. Even standing still, parked in a driveway or displayed at an event, the car commands presence. It attracts not only those who understand its heritage, but also casual admirers who may not know its history but recognize its beauty. That universality is the hallmark of great design. Just as the original designers of the 1937 Ford sought to create something that would stand out in its time, the builders of this hot rod have created something that resonates in ours. In today's world, where so much of the automotive industry is moving toward electrification, automation, and uniformity, cars like this offer a refreshing counterpoint. They are tactile, mechanical, analog. They require engagement from their drivers and reward that engagement with authenticity. Owning this Ford is not just about transportation. It is about belonging to a culture, enjoying the art of driving, and carrying forward a piece of history. With every detail, from the flowing body lines to the throaty V8, from the polished chrome under the hood to the careful stitching of the interior, this Roadster demonstrates what is possible when passion meets craftsmanship. It is both a nod to the past and a celebration of the present. For the right enthusiast, it will not just be a car in the garage, but a companion for adventures, memories, and moments that will define their automotive journey. Even when you look at the details that are not immediately noticeable, the quality shines through. The stance of the car is purposeful, thanks to carefully chosen suspension geometry that allows it to sit low and sleek without sacrificing drivability. Many hot rods of the past had the problem of looking fantastic but driving like crude machines. This Ford avoids that trap with a balance between appearance and usability. The wheel and tire combination, subtle but effective, fills the arches with authority. Chrome accents glisten against the silver body, but never overwhelm. It is tasteful restraint that separates this build from some of the more flamboyant customs. The goal here was refinement, and it has been executed flawlessly. To understand why the 1937 Ford body became so iconic among builders, one must look back at the era when it debuted. The mid to late 1930s were a turning point in American automotive styling. Manufacturers were moving away from the more upright, boxy bodies of the early decade and into streamlined Art Deco-influenced forms. The 1937 Ford embodied this change with flowing fenders, a more aerodynamic nose, and a low-slung profile. It was both elegant and forward-looking, capturing the optimism of a nation emerging from the Great Depression. The fact that this styling has endured to the point of still inspiring admiration almost 90 years later speaks volumes. By using a Downs Industries fiberglass body, the builder of this hot rod preserved those lines while eliminating the rust issues that plague original steel bodies. It is a way of ensuring that the car can be enjoyed for decades without the endless fight against corrosion. From the driver's perspective, the experience is a blend of vintage atmosphere and modern confidence. Slide into the cabin and the black upholstery provides a serious, timeless feel. The controls fall to hand naturally, and while the look nods to the 1930s, the ergonomics clearly belong to a later era. The gauges are easy to read, the switch is intuitive, the wheel responsive thanks to power assist. It is the sort of environment where you could spend hours behind the wheel without fatigue. And that is crucial, because this is not a car built only for short hops around town. It is a car that begs to be taken on open road cruises, where the scenery blurs by and the soundtrack of the V8 becomes your companion. When you fire up the engine, the Blueprint 350ci crate motor comes alive with a bark that quickly settles into a smooth, throaty rumble. Unlike the engines of the 1930s, which often struggled with rough idling and limited power, this modern V8 is smooth, responsive, and utterly reliable. Step on the throttle and the Edelbrock carburetor delivers fuel with crisp immediacy, sending horsepower to the rear wheels in a surge that is both controlled and exhilarating. The 700 are 4 transmission shifts without drama, its overdrive gear ensuring that long highway stretches are handled effortlessly. The Ford 9-inch rear end ensures durability under load, while the Posey traction setup makes every ounce of power usable. Paired with 4-wheel disc brakes, the result is a driving experience that feels secure, composed, and thrilling in equal measure. And then there is the way people react to it. Onlookers stop in their tracks, children tug at their parents' sleeves, and even those who have never given a thought to classic cars cannot help but be drawn in. There is something universal about the beauty of this Ford. It appeals to seasoned collectors who recognize the craftsmanship, but it also captivates casual passersby who simply see it as something extraordinary. That kind of broad appeal is rare, and it makes this hot rod a bridge between worlds, the world of enthusiasts and the general public, the world of past and present, the world of art and engineering. Every classic car carries with it a sense of nostalgia, but the best builds go beyond nostalgia to create something new. This Ford is not locked in the past. It is alive in the present. It offers all the charm of 1930s design with none of the compromises, all the excitement of hot rod performance without the frustrations of old technology. For someone seeking a classic car they can actually use, this balance is invaluable. Too often, vintage cars sit in garages, taken out only sparingly because of their fragility. This Roadster invites regular enjoyment. It is dependable, it is comfortable, and it is visually stunning. Of course, cars like this also represent investment. With only 1,500 miles since the build, it is essentially new. That means minimal wear, maximum longevity, and the potential for years of trouble-free enjoyment. It also means that for collectors, the car retains strong value as a carefully executed hot rod that will never go out of style. Trends in the automotive world come and go, but the allure of a silver 1937 Ford Roadster with a V8 heartbeat will always remain strong. It is also worth noting how much skill, time, and dedication goes into a build of this caliber. This is not something thrown together in a backyard. It is the result of careful planning, sourcing the right parts, and countless hours of labor. From ensuring the body lines are perfect to fine-tuning the engine bay for both performance and presentation, every decision reflects an attention to detail that separates great cars from average ones. To own it is not just to own a vehicle but to inherit the passion of those who built it. Take it to a car show and you will see the effect. Judges will admire the craftsmanship. Enthusiasts will appreciate the technical choices, and the general public will be drawn to its beauty. Take it for a cruise, and you will rediscover why Americans fell in love with motoring in the first place. There is a purity in the experience, unmediated by screens or computers, where every input from the driver translates directly into mechanical response. It is driving in its most authentic form, something that modern cars, for all their capability, rarely deliver. The 1937 Ford Model 78 Deluxe Roadster hot rod stands as a reminder that the automobile is more than just transportation. It is art, history, culture, and personal expression all wrapped into one. This car exemplifies how a machine from nearly 9 decades ago can be reborn into something entirely relevant today. It captures the imagination, stirs the soul, and offers experiences that no mass-produced vehicle could ever replicate. In the end, what makes this car special is not just its components or even its looks. It is the way it makes people feel. Pride, excitement, nostalgia, joy. All of these emotions come alive when you encounter it. For the right person, owning this Ford will not just be about having another vehicle in the garage. It will be about having a piece of rolling history that connects them to a larger story, a story of American ingenuity, creativity, and passion for the open road. This is more than just a car. It is a time machine that brings the past into the present, a sculpture that moves under its own power, a celebration of what makes hot rods so deeply beloved. For those lucky enough to take the wheel, it will provide not only transportation but an experience, a memory, and a legacy.